So can you fart yourself to space? Wait. There's no such thing as a stupid question, as you'll see, as you understand as this channel grows. So there's no such thing as a stupid question, and I'm going to answer this very stupid question that someone actually sent, and we're going to go through like the possibilities of how this is possible. Can you fart yourself to space? How much energy do you need to lift a person up? Let's say an average person is 180 pounds, which is about 80 kgs. To lift up like off the ground, and 180-pound man, which is around 80 kilograms, you need 800 newtons. That's from the gravitational acceleration, 9.8 meters per second, multiplied by the weight. So like anything above that will actually lift up like a grown man. So if like you're using fats, if that's possible, so a fat, we've calculated it actually generates 0.2 newtons of energy every time you fart, like one fat. So if it's possible somehow, if you've eaten enough llama beans, which are the most potent if you want to be flatulent, right? So if you've eaten a bunch of them, and somehow you can like fart 4,000 times consecutively, then that energy from those 4,000 consecutive farts will lift you up off the ground. As crazy as that sound, I know that like your intestines, like your anus and everything is not built like a rocket so that like you can get lift off. But if we can redesign them and somehow we can use those fats to lift you up, how much fats do you need to push a car? This must sound crazy to some people actually, but a team in British actually made a car that runs on fats. So it uses all the waste from the house, everything that's flushed down the toilet, and it uses the gases from those shits, if we can say it. Every 70 homes, for 70 homes can power this car. Let's call it a biobug. It's from Britain, and there's an article by Business Insider, I think it was written in 2019, which says that 70 homes can power this biobug for like an entire year. So how many fats are those? Calculate and comment below. So as we go back to the original question, can you fart yourself to space? So if we try to calculate this thrust, how much thrust is needed for you to lift off and reach into orbit, so we know the minimum amount, if like you're an 80 kilogram man, a minimum that you need to lift off the ground, you need 800, you need 800 newtons. But if we then translate it to actually lift you up like a rocket so that you reach orbit, I've actually calculated this one, right? You need 40.5 thousand newtons for you to be lifted off the ground and reach orbit, and you can orbit. 40,000 newtons of fats is actually 200,000 fats consecutively. If it's possible for you to just keep feeding yourself llama beans and just keep fighting, you'll eventually reach to space. But another way to do it, which is easier, I feel like it's easier, I think, but it's to use hot air balloons and reserve those air. So every time you fart, just fart into an air balloon up until it's big enough. You can use like a 30-foot air balloon, and since farts are they weigh less than the air, it will lift you up and it will burst when it reaches space. Then you've reached space. The good thing is that you won't smell a thing, because farts are not really smelly. It's only that 1%. So if you get enough farts, like 200,000 farts, that 1% of 200,000 doesn't mean much, so it will be smellless. So you can actually fart yourself to space.